Yo guys, welcome back to the Touchliner podcast. It's the Carabao Cup final preview.
I mean, we're here. We're ready. We're excited. We've obviously got contrasting colours on right now. We've got red on that side or that side. We've got blue for our third or away kit or whatever this is. I've got a stain there from all the tears of the Manchester United fans. They're gonna have to wipe up off the floor. I'm excited.
Me too. It's a big game. It's a huge game. It's the first English Cup final of the year. And it's the first time these two are facing off since 1999, which was Newcastle's last final.
It was. And how did that end?
2-0. Let's go. Scholes
did we win?
and Sheringham. Scholes and Sheringham. We won the treble that year. That was completely different times. United were on top, best team in the world. Newcastle were up there, but they weren't challenging. And they had one of the best strikers in the world. But now, it's a different landscape. United are on the up. Newcastle are also on the up. But obviously, Newcastle have a lot more of a rebuild to do with the takeover and everything. So, give me just a rundown of the past couple weeks. Newcastle's form. How do you feel going into the final?
Well, obviously, a few things have happened since we last spoke. May or may not affect what I think will actually happen. But so Newcastle recently been dropping a few points, as one unnamed co-host on this show will happily remind you anytime he gets to speak. And yeah, it happens. We dropped points against Liverpool. We were down 2-0. I firmly believe we could have came back in that game because we just looked. We still, even with 10 men, we still looked dangerous. But then Nick Pope obviously got sent off, which wasn't ideal. And then there was once your starting keeper gets sent off and you have to take off one of your important midfielders, like, you're really out of the game, to be honest. Even though we played like we were still in it. And all the pundits were saying that they were surprised how well Newcastle were doing. But yeah, we conceded. Obviously, we dropped points against Liverpool, dropped points against West Ham. We really should have won against West Ham, to be honest. And it's just not. We haven't won in 5 games now. We're starting to get a little bit shaky. I think we're sitting at 5th with a game in hand. So, top 4 is still a possibility, obviously. We know how Spurs can be flaky.
Not facts.
But what I will say is, to that unnamed co-host, my original point about the title race was that if you are in the top 4 with only a 10-point difference, then in my head you're in a title race. That's why I said Man United were in a title race way before anybody else did. So I'm maintaining that, still. So Man United are in a title race. I think that Newcastle at one point we were 3rd, only 5 points behind Arsenal. You can say we weren't in a title race, but whatever. And now we're dropping points. It happens. It's our first season bouncing back from being bought by the consortium. And no one's expecting magic overnight. Even though, when we do have moments of magic, like, sitting top 4 for the most of the season, it feels great, but we can't just expect it to happen straight away. So, but what I will say is I will take a trophy and top 8 happily. I don't mind sacrificing top 4 for the Carabao Cup. Winning silverware means more to any Newcastle fan than winning this title. Winning this trophy, means more to Newcastle fans a million times over than it means to Manchester United fans. I don't think you would deny that either. Like, I think Man United fans would rather have
Oh yeah,
Champions League spot than the
yeah,
Carabao Cup.
100%, 100%. It definitely means more to the Newcastle fans, and that's the worry going into this. Um, it's obviously first final in however many, almost 25 years.
Yeah,
This whole generation of Newcastle fans have just not remembering a final. Even 90s kids will probably be too young to remember the FA Cup final.
yeah,
And you haven't won a trophy since what, the
69.
Yeah, the 60s.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming, but I hope United stop you guys. And I think going off our form in the past couple of weeks, it's not looking good for you guys.
Here's the thing. It's United's final to lose. I've said ever since Nick Pope got sent off, I sent it to our group chat. I said, okay, now it's United's final to lose because Nick Pope is the best goalkeeper, or has been the best goalkeeper in the league this season, in my opinion. People could argue and say it's
No, I
Allison.
agree. I
He
agree.
also had, yeah, Allison also had a really, really good performance against Newcastle when we had 10 men. He was keeping them in the game when we started pushing back. So Allison was still having a very good game, and he's had a very good season. I personally would still put Nick Pope up there. Yeah, he's not just a goalkeeper; he's a five-man defense with those four at the back. He's a sweeper keeper, and obviously we saw how he made a silly error. Trying to sweep out there a bit too much, and he sort of fell on the ball. Then when he fell on it, he tried to grab it,
Yeah.
which was like,
It's a stupid moment. He wasn't thinking.
yeah,
You can see his head's gone when he falls on the ball.
it was, he panicked, and I mean, but then again, it's sort of like an understandable panic because I sort of like, he's obviously the last man, and he's come out, and he's that whole game and the past few games he's been really sweeping like a lot and be coming out like really far, like even like 35, 40 yards he's came out before. So it's like it's sort of a double-edged sword in a way. And obviously he just got cut that time, and if he hadn't grabbed it, we probably would have conceded there. So he had to do what he had to do, but he's also cost Newcastle. He's also putting us in a difficult place now because we can't. I've always had faith in Dubravka, and I've always said Dubravka's a great keeper, but my man is cup tied. So
this was Ten Hag's plan. He saw this coming.
there's only one man that can save Newcastle now. One man who's ever since 2018, he's been cooking. He's been cooking.
What has he been cooking?
Who let him cook?
No one. No one's letting him cook.
Karius is about to come and have a masterclass in the Carabao Cup final. Bro, the last game he played for a Premier League club was that game.
Yeah.
Where he fumbled the bag like that.
Yeah, it was
crazy.
It's been a while. We went to Turkey, and then I don't know where he went, and now he's at Newcastle. He's been the third choice keeper, and now he has to step up. It's going to be his first.
He's played one pre-season game.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's his debut. It's his competitive debut for Newcastle, and what a stage! Another final on his return to English football, and it's at Wembley.
Then again, Eddie Howe has said, "Listen, I won't be choosing the keeper until after this week of training." So Mark Gillespie could still get called up.
No, it will definitely be Karius. He's a senior keeper.
Most likely going to be Karius.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Also, if Eddie Howe doesn't feel like he has the confidence, because confidence is key as a goalkeeper. You have to command your defense. You have to command your box. If he doesn't feel like he has the confidence to play a Premier League game, never mind a Carabao Cup final, he will start the player who's been at the club for the past 5 years.
No, it's honestly
he doesn't have a choice, really.
Yeah, I think it is going to be Karius because the thing is, right, he wasn't completely crap. He wasn't amazing for Liverpool, but he kept. I think he played 30 games. I saw something that he played 30 games in the league and he kept 13 clean sheets. Which is fine. Yeah. It's not bad. Like, he's an okay keeper, but it's not Pope. And it makes me happy because United right now look free flowing, right? We've hit form at the perfect time for this final. We hit a little
And
wobble.
Rashford is in full stride.
But this is
Full
the
stride
thing.
as well. Sorry.
Rashford apparently came off injured last night. Apparently.
This is what I've been seeing on social
But
media.
here's what I'm thinking. I saw him. He continued. He actually went down. He played for like 10 minutes and then he came off and he
But
hobbled.
this is what happened to Joel Linton. He tweaked
Yeah.
his hamstring and he wanted to stay on, but Eddie Howe took him off to be safe.
I might be safe. It might be safety, honestly. And Ten Hag in the press conference said,
Yeah.
"Oh, we don't know. I think it's mind games. I genuinely think it's mind games.
Yeah.
Because
Maybe.
worst comes to worst, you can just inject him with painkillers and he can play. Like it's
That's gotta be illegal.
no,
right?
no, no.
Like,
It's allowed. It's just paracetamol, but it's not good for
illegal
the.
in
It's
New
not.
York City.
It's not good for the player. But we haven't lost a game since Arsenal. So that's it's been a month now. We've drawn with Barcelona. We beat them last night, so we're through in that tie. We beat Leicester 3-0. Both of those games, the game last night and the Leicester game, we didn't start well. This is the issue now. We didn't start well.
Newcastle start well.
Yes,
Most of our goals have come in the first half.
it's the issue. Now, I know Newcastle aren't in a good run of form right now, but it's still the best defense in the league. If Newcastle score first, the thing is, luckily Leicester didn't score first because De Gea was on it, but they easily could have been 1 or 2 up. Barcelona took their chance.
See, De Gea had a great game that day.
Vintage.
He kept you in it. I think what's his name? Tete, that right winger, had a good chance. Iheanacho had a really good chance.
That was the one, the Iheanacho one. That save was crazy, and it's good as well. He made another save like that last night, like a fingertip save. So he's hit form at the right time as well. Rashford, if he's fit, is also on one. Anthony just scored the winner against Barcelona. I think he starts against Newcastle. Sancho's back. Fernandes is cooking again. Casemiro's... When I speak about the players one by one, I'm like, we can't lose this game. But you know what they always say though, cup final, your form goes out the window. It's 90 or 120 minutes of whatever happens.
I mean, hypothetically, listen, best defense in the league, okay? Eddie Howe could very easily just come out and say, listen, we press high, but we park the bus. And they just sit for 120 minutes and drag you into penalties. And then it's a 50-50 game at that point. I don't even know if I could watch it if it went to penalties. I saw Bruno miss a penalty against Crystal Palace.
I hate penalties.
I saw... Who else missed a penalty against... Bruno missed a penalty. He skied it over the bar. And Botman missed a penalty. And obviously both of them will be starting. So... Bruno will be back.
We're crap at pens. In all my time watching football in the last 10, 15 years, the only penalty shootout I remember winning was against Rochdale. We lost the Europa League final. We lost a penalty shootout to Sunderland. I don't know if you remember in year 9 or year 8 or something. Yeah. So we're not good at that. But I genuinely don't think it goes pens. I think it will be decided in the game. And if you, I
think so too.
I want Newcastle to play counter-attacking football because that leaves gaps. And we've got players that can pass the ball. Martinez can play through.
Like, our defense, obviously, is statistically the best in the league. But balls do get past them a lot, to be fair. Like, I see, like, those quick, 1-2 and then through balls, straight through. Because Burn, not especially fast. Okay? Kieran Trippier, not especially fast. Fabian Schär, he's okay, but he's not that quick. Botman is probably the quickest out of all of them, I think. But gaps are there when you're pressing that high, and then you do play that kind of counter-attack football. And Nick Pope has been there to help us in the past, and obviously that's not a factor anymore. So it's interesting. It's an interesting tactical sort of warfare now between Ten Hag and Eddie Howe on how they start their teams. I do think that Newcastle are going to play the intensity that we've played.
I hope so.
Because I think, especially with the crowd going all the way to Wembley, you've got two of the best supporters in the world, in my opinion, in one stadium. It's going to be deafening, and people don't realize that it is going to be. It could possibly be one of the best atmospheres in Premier League history. I say Premier League just because they're both Premier League teams.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. I do think, though, it's gonna. My thing personally is how do you start for the Newcastle team outside the defense and the goalkeeper, because Joe Linton came off with a hamstring tweak. He wanted to stay on. He thought he could stay on, but Eddie Howe took him off. Bruno back from his suspension, but hasn't played a game in 3 weeks or 2 weeks now.
Yeah, yeah.
Elliot Anderson is shit. Sean Longstaff is a rotation player.
Yeah.
Listen, he scored against Southampton, but Southampton are really bad. So, like,
He's all
yeah,
McTominay. He's all McTominay.
yeah. He's literally. They look the same as well.
And they play the same. It's
Yeah. Like he's clumsy. He misplaces passes, but like, he works in the system sometimes.
Yeah.
Then do you bring ASM and start him on the left, or do you start Joe Linton on the left like you have been doing earlier on in the season, and then use him to drop back? Do you start Callum Wilson or do you start Isaac? Isaac hasn't scored in a long time now.
No, I think
Callum Wilson,
you start
a bit
Isaac.
hit and miss.
I reckon you
Do you
start
think
Isaac.
Isaac over Wilson?
You start Isaac and you put him in Martinez, because every player with a tall striker does that. And
But Martinez has been cleaning up this season.
that's the thing, right? Every team does that because they'll win a few headers, but then Martinez
Yeah.
will put his head there. Like he'll put his head where he'll put his foot. Like this guy is so passionate, and he's probably
Yeah.
the best defender I've seen for a few years at United.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So him and Varane will be playing that. Yeah, they will be playing that final. I'm excited to see how it's going to be. Who do you think the key player will be for Newcastle, though? Like, if they have a good game, you win. Like, the best game, a 10 out of 10, you win. Or if they don't show up, you lose. Who's that
It's
guy?
got to be Bruno.
Yeah.
It's got to be Bruno.
Yeah.
Like, for Newcastle, he's so pivotal. Like, he controls the game. He plays, like, defensive, sort of like a DM, but he's like box to box. Do you know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
up and down the pitch, and he links up so well with Almiron. Almiron will play a ball from the right-hand side of the opponent's box into Bruno, and he's played this chip pass through so many times, and it's just he links up so well. He's got great vision. He's got great ability to make like cutting passes through the defense. And like that, like creativity is missing when we play like Elliot Anderson and Sean Longstaff. And Joe Linton is good, but he's not. He's a utility player in the sense that he does the dirty work. He even though he has the ability to do like some skill moves, some like fake shotting and stuff like that, he can do it. He's Brazilian. It's in their genetics to be able to do stuff like that. But like Bruno is naturally the guy who controls the game. And if he can control the game, if he has a 10 out of 10 game, then I believe that Newcastle will win. But here's the thing. Is Eddie Howe going to start him when he's not played in a while?
He's
been training.
He has to.
but
He has to.
He has to. Yeah. Like, if it's me, I start him every day.
Yeah. I mean, he's had time now. You can just basically recharge his batteries. It might be a bit rusty, so maybe first 5-10 minutes, but he is your best player. He is your most technical player, and he'll make if he shows up, it'll make a difference. It'll be Casemiro's job to kind of stop any of his nonsense. And I don't know if we're gonna play Weghorst in the 10 because we did do that away at Barcelona.
Weghorst is too big and too slow to deal with.
He's got the most. He's had the most presses in the league since he's joined. This guy works hard. Like, yeah, he doesn't score. He's literally. He hasn't got a position.
These big, strong players are just utility players.
Yeah, facts.
That's why
facts.
He's the white Joe Linton.
Bro, you know what it is? He's 6'6" and he doesn't win headers. I don't understand. But he's got a good touch. He presses the ball.
Yeah.
When he gets it, he lays it off to people. So if he can just do that and disrupt play, if he can disrupt Bruno Guimaraes, it will be really good. But I don't know if he starts him. That's the thing. If we want to go on the front foot and try to score early, I think we put Rashford up front and Sancho and Anthony on the wings and Bruno in behind, like in the 10.
I think Rashford is better on the wing.
It depends. It depends on the opposition.
When he's dribbling to somebody, I'm scared. Because I've seen his dribbling ability's just gone so up recently.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. He obviously he's the best. He's right now he's the best player in the world. Like form wise, he's the best player in the world. Like I don't think there's any doubt there. And he's the most informed player in the world. Um, so I don't know. It's gonna be extremely interesting. If we
I'm
play a
excited,
high
man.
line, if we play so high, there's so much room for like the pace of Anthony, especially against Dan Burn. Like I remember when we first played in the league,
Yeah.
like although you didn't score, like Anthony was like cutting past Dan Burn pretty easily, you know. And look at the size of them, like he's never gonna be able to catch him. So
That's the thing. That's my hope that if you just play how you normally, I mean, before this run of form, how you've normally been, even against Liverpool. Now the second half, I caught most of the second half. You were still pushing up. You were still trying to score, and I respected that. I think if you, like you said, if you had 11 men, could have drawn that game.
yeah,
But obviously, you had 10 men, you couldn't. So if you just keep playing, if you're playing like that with 10 men, I bet my left leg that you'll play like that in the final. Because this is
yeah,
the new identity. This is Newcastle's new identity. It's Eddie Howe's style of play. He's a very, very good tactical manager. He's probably one of the best in the league, I would say.
yeah.
He's up there, in the top 5, definitely. Arteta, I'll put Arteta
Who do you
there.
think's better? Who do you think's a better manager, Eddie Howe or Ten Hag?
Well, obviously, I think Ten Hag's a better manager.
Really,
My guy's got Fred scoring against Barcelona.
bro? My guy has Sean Longstaff scoring.
That's the
Against
thing,
Liverpool.
right? It's gonna be. Can you imagine, like in 3-4 years from now, it's just like United Newcastle rivalry, like title race every season. Like, I don't know.
It'd be a dream, but at the same time, like this is we've been waiting for this for 9 whole years. Do you know what I mean? This is a big moment in not just like Newcastle fans, but for us
Yeah,
specifically. I said to my dad, I was like, the team that I love the most is in the final playing against the team that I hate the most. And I was like, it couldn't have been written better. So one thing that I'm super nervous about is just Rashford. I'm so scared because this man he's absolutely a million miles an hour cooking right now. And like what I don't know if I don't know if Shah and Botman can stop him, I don't know. No, I don't have the answers.
did you see his goals against Leicester? Did you watch that game?
Yeah, I watched.
Yeah, so the one was from when he was playing up front and he was off the last man. The other one was on the wing. He was also off the last man and he managed to stay onside both times. That's the
Yeah.
thing. If he gets going,
One of them was a bit dubious.
the first
to-
one, yeah, that looked offside.
Yeah,
That looked offside to me. But
yeah,
but that's what he does. He hangs off the last man, and the balls get launched in. But the thing is, anyone can play. Shaw can play those balls. If we start Delo, he can play those. Casemiro, Martinez, Fernandez, Ericsson's not fit, but he could. Sabitzer, if we start Sabitzer instead of Fred, so he's always going to be on the go. I'm going to be really
Yeah.
interested to see how Newcastle try to deal with that. But
Okay, here's my question to you. How do you line up? You give your line
yeah,
up and I'll give mine.
I would go David De Gea, obviously, in net. Luke Shaw, Martinez, Varane. I'd start Delo. I prefer Wan-Bissaka as a right back, but Delo as an attacking outlet is a lot better.
Interesting.
So I'd put
Okay.
Delo. He played the last like 20 or 30 minutes yesterday, so I think he's being warmed up for the final. In midfield, I'd play Casemiro in defensive midfield. Just ahead, I'd put Sabitzer, box to box. He's been really good since he's joined. I'd put I'm gonna go Fernandez in the 10.
Yeah.
Fernan-
Okay, I was
Fen-
gonna say if you didn't play Bruno, I would have been really questioning
Nah, I'll
that.
put Fernandez in the 10. I'll put does he start Anthony? I don't know if he starts Anthony.
But who do you play on the right?
Nah, you know what?
instead of
Nah,
Anthony? I don't think he plays Sancho.
That's true. I think he put Sancho on the left, Rashford up front, Anthony on the right. But recently, Bruno has been playing on the right, and Sancho in the 10. So it just
I don't
depends.
like that.
It works though. It's really weird. Like I don't know what he's made Weghorst a 10. He's made Fernandez a winger. It works.
Man management.
It's crazy, yeah. But I think that's our best team. If we play Bruno in the 10 to pull the strings, and then you got Anthony, who's just scored the winner against Barca. His confidence.
Confidence
Rashford
will be up there.
Rashford up
Especially
front.
against Dan Burn.
Bro, he's gonna do that
Big Dan Burn.
He's gonna do that stupid spin thing.
While he's spinning, Dan Burn is just gonna be like.
Honestly, I could just see like the first tackle of the game from a Newcastle player. It's just gonna be like, "Oh, let him know you're there." That's it. It's gonna be like Dan
that's
Burn.
how
or something.
Dan Burn plays. Like,
Yeah.
Dan Burn is the Brexit man.
He
will
is.
Brexit Anthony into a HIA assessment.
I rate him though. I rate him every time I watch because because you don't watch Newcastle games. I watched the last couple. And the bad luck charm. The bad luck charm.
You watched the second half.
Second half of the Liverpool one, but the one before that I watched.
West Ham.
Yeah, West Ham. I watched that one, and the bad luck charm.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. Oh, what were you saying?
So, if I'm starting, ideally, obviously, this is how I would start Newcastle. I'd have Karius in goal. I'd start Trippier, Cher, Botman, and Dan Burn. I'm playing Bruno as like the DM. I'm playing Joelinton with Joe Willock. Then on the left, playing ASM. Obviously, this is 4-3-3. On the right, Miggy Almiron, who's going to score. Okay. And then up front, I'm going to say Alexander Isak will play. I think that is the team that we have the best chance of beating you with. Because Isaac also, in the way that we've been playing in the 4-3-3, he's not getting behind as much as I would have liked. He kind of drops a bit more and sort of then will either send it wide or take a man on. When I watched Isaac, the first few times I saw him play, like he got sent through in the Liverpool game and then obviously cut inside and shot and scored. That's what I want to see. I want it because he's fast for a big guy.
Yeah.
And he's got the strength. So I think that's how. But who knows? I think that's how I'll line up. And what are we gonna do? Predictions or what?
Yeah, I mean, we'll do predictions. Mate, Fred could play though. I just realized he's been in such good form. He did really well against Leicester. Got an assist. Got an assist away in Barcelona. He scored yesterday. He could play, but I think Sabitzer for control. Fred is just chaos. And I think if Rashford's injured, changes a lot.
I feel like this game's going to be dramatic. I don't think it's going to be boring. Bro, this is two teams that go end to end, play end-to-end football. Like, Newcastle are going to want to control the game, but when they lose the ball, they're going to want to press. Manchester United are going to want to control the game, and when they lose it, they will press us. So it's going to be like, it's either going to be the scrappiest game of football ever, or it's going to be really just like end-to-end.
I think it will be. It will be end-to-end. I mean, you've had a whole week off. We just played yesterday, and we're playing day after tomorrow. Like, that's football.
That's something that can affect you guys as well.
True, it is draining.
Imagine Rashford is injured. Can you? You don't win if Rashford's injured. I'm being serious. I don't think you win.
You do realize he didn't score yesterday. We beat Barcelona.
But here's the thing. In my opinion, when your other players who haven't showed up for, Sancho hasn't showed up for a lot of the season, right? Anthony only just finding his confidence, and to be fair, everyone sort of called him a flop. He's only been there 6 months, right? 6 months.
Yeah.
So he's not been there long enough for you to call him a flop, in my opinion. And now he's just coming into form. But if he keeps, for example, we saw when he played against Newcastle, he was doing he did the spin and then he kicked it out. He does that. Rashford is your Bruno. He's the player that needs to be there for your success.
He is our most informed player right now, and it will. I think right now I'm really confident that we'll win. I'm 80%. But if Rashford's not there, he'll go to 60 because everything he touches turns to gold. He was marked out of the game yesterday by Arujo, but he almost scored still. He got away from him, he muscled him off, and he almost scored. And I was like, that's his only shot he's had all game. So I hope he's fit. If not, maybe he can come off the bench. But if he doesn't start, it's gonna be Weghorst.
Nah, there's no way I let Weghorst score against my team.
If Weghorst
I
scores
just
the
don't let it
winner,
happen.
if Weghorst scores the winner,
Listen, it's more written in the stars, right? That if anybody is gonna win the game tomorrow for any team, it's got to be Miguel Almiron. It's got to
he's.
imagine. Just imagine.
I don't want
Can you
to.
just
I don't want to.
imagine? Edge of the box on the right hand side in the 89th minute, Miguel Almiron puts it top corner.
De Gea saves it, bro. I'm
No,
telling
he
you.
doesn't. He doesn't save it. He does not save it. He can't handle the Santiago Munez lookalike. Okay.
He's hit his form's falling off a cliff though. Like he went on that crazy run and then he stopped scoring.
I called it, bro. I said he'd be a Jeremy Lin. I literally said that.
I mean,
I was
we'll
like,
we'll
this is
see.
Jeremy Lin season.
We'll see if you can actually get a result. I'm not like saying we're gonna walk over you. I think
What is your score prediction? This is getting clipped, all right? Score prediction.
I think. All right, this is the clip. I think we win with Rashford. I think we win 3-1, but it's not gonna be like we're gonna walk all over you. I think it's gonna be close. We get a goal near the end. You keep pushing, and then we get one to seal it like near the end, and it's like shirt comes off and all that.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's gonna be a drama-filled game, especially with the Manchester United referee that is reffing the game.
Excuses already, guys. Are you hearing this? He's already making excuses.
Listen, me and Ten Hag have a lot in common. Okay. One thing is that we both talk about the referees before the game has even started.
Shut up.
Okay. I'm just saying, this was what he did. He was asked about why Newcastle are so good, and he said we're annoying. And then when asked why we're annoying, he responded, well, because, the way that they play to waste time. Which is, read into that however you want. And he said we need the referees with us. You read that, right? He said you need the referees to be on our side or something like that.
Well, his English, I don't know what he's trying to say, but I do give these managers the benefit of the doubt.
No,
I do.
No, this
I
guy.
do. He's not saying, oh, we need the refs to back us. No, but if you look at the stats, he's not wrong. Newcastle, I actually screenshotted this. Actually,
Yeah, we have a lot of we do time waste.
Yeah,
There's no doubt about
it's
and I'm not a fan of it. If I could expel it from football, I would. Or either do what they did in the World Cup and then add all that extra time on at the end, which I don't understand why that's not a consistent rule in all of the top 5 leagues. Because in the World Cup, they were adding on 20 minutes in some games, or in one of the games. I think that should be a common rule in the Premier League because it stops teams from wasting time. They just get on with it otherwise.
Yeah. No, I think so. And here's the stat, by the way. Newcastle the percentage of the game where the ball is in play, right? While the team's in possession.
Oh yeah, we had the ball in play for like 43 minutes against Liverpool.
Yeah, that's why there was added time. But over the course of the season, you are second bottom. Leeds are bottom on 51.8%. You've got 52.3%.
Yeah.
So half the game, the ball's out of play.
We get fouled a lot.
No, you do with your wingers and stuff. You do, but that's. I think that was what Ten Hag was talking about.
We get a lot of set pieces, like a lot, and also because
that's
we play high press.
That's how we
because
concede.
We play high press football. Keepers boot the ball away. It goes out. Players panic. They kick the ball out. That all
true.
Adds up,
True, but
I will also say that there is time wasting.
Yeah.
On, sure. Here's the thing. Clip it.
Wait, okay. Let's redo the clip, all right? Because we just went off on a tangent. All right, I'll say my score prediction, and then you say yours. All right, like a sentence.
Go for it.
Okay.
Clip it.
Okay, here's the clip. My score prediction. All right, my score prediction for the game is if Rashford is fit, we win 3-1. I don't think it's gonna be like a walkover 3-1. I think it's gonna be really close. I think Newcastle score first. We get back into it. We score a late goal. They keep pushing, and we get another one, maybe an added time, and that's Limbs. What do you think?
Check the time. History will not repeat itself. Okay, this is not the time for Newcastle to fail. We are going to win against all the odds. The universe has put every single obstacle in our way. He's taken away our keeper. Okay, he's given a Manchester United ref as the referee for the game. He's a Manchester United fan. Okay, one of our main midfielders is nearly injured. Okay, I'm telling you right now, this is the perfect story. It's the perfect path, and I'm calling it. Newcastle are going to win 3-2 with a goal at the end of the game, and I'm calling it's going to be Miguel Almiron to do the job. Miguel Almiron.
Well, we'll see if that happens. We'll see. It's gonna be.
It's either, you know what? I don't care who it is. It could be anybody. Just as long as
No,
this,
obviously,
we win.
obviously, if it's an own goal, I don't think you'll care. Like,
I want Karius to score. Not an own goal, please. Not another one.
I don't. Honestly, I'm confident going into this game. Even if Rashford's not fit, I still think we will win. But it's a final. You know, it's a final. Anything.
Clip it. It's Manchester United's.
Clip
It's
everything.
Manchester United's game to lose.
We are favourites. We are definitely
Yeah.
favourites. But that's the thing. Like you just said earlier, set pieces. We could concede. You've got Trippier crossing it in to Shaw, Botman, Dan Burn, Joe Linton, Isaac. These guys are huge, man.
It's David versus Goliath right now.
It's not that bad. You guys don't
It's David
suck.
versus
You're
Goliath.
fifth.
And nobody wants to see.
It's not David.
No one wants to see Goliath win.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, you're not David though. You're only 2 places below us in the league.
No, but all of the things that have happened to us in the past 2 weeks have made us David. And we were already the underdog. According to you, it was your game to lose before all this happened anyways. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, yeah, we have been the favourites, obviously, yeah.
So what were you favourites beforehand, percentage-wise?
I'd still say United, maybe not as much.
You were 60, 60,
Yeah,
40?
I'd say it's like 60,
And then
65, yeah.
now that our best defender
Yeah, like
is out of the
80,
game,
80, yeah.
David versus Goliath.
Well, you know
It's
what?
going to be interesting, though.
Time will tell, right? It's gonna be a big game. It's gonna be a big game. We'll see. Maybe get you on next week with the saying.
Yeah.
Unless Newcastle win, then I'm not coming. You can.
I will only come in next week if we lose. Okay, I'm perfectly happy to take stick from you. Okay, but I will not take stick from Hussein. I just won't do it.
He did. Call you an ex-friend, so.
I will walk off the show. Okay, I will take the headphones off and leave the building. Okay, so I don't mind losing. You know, it's not really going in our favor, but I've got faith. That's all that we need.
Anyone can win. It's a cup final. Anyone can win. But yeah, I'll probably get you on next week. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah. I will say I'm happy. I'm going to get me suit measured.
Alright, guys. See you in the next one. Ben's out. Like, subscribe, comment, follow, all that good stuff. And catch you on the next one when hopefully United win. Peace.